Hey guys, it's Taylor back with Ava Taylor, and today we're gonna be reading Reddit. So let's get into it. Sorry if my voice is a little shot. I'm doing 7 videos in a row. This is video number 4, and I haven't even started talking. Oh my god. But it's okay, we push through. We're doing 2 hot takes. Also, for some reason, my nose is stuffy. Amazing. Oh my god. I don't actually know what 2 hot takes means, because it has like, am I the arsehole, am I overreacting? Like, I don't know what it means. But this one is, am I the arsehole for not letting my boyfriend take my car during a heat wave? My 38 female boyfriend's 39 male car does not have AC, and he wanted to take my car instead of his car to band practice. For some background, the most of the damage that was ever done to my last 2 cars was that he was driving it. One instance was his fault, and the other was supposedly a hit and run, but I wasn't there, so I had to take him at his word, and another time my car was stolen from him at a weapon pointed at him and trashed. He smokes and burnt my last car a few times near the window and the roof, and he tended to throw trash on the passenger floorboard. He also spills coffee and drinks in his car a lot, and it's very stained and covered in ashes. I've cleaned it for him, but it dissolves quickly, so I have stopped trying. I said he couldn't take it because of all these reasons, but I offered to drive him and come pick him up whenever he's done. It's like maybe a 30-minute round trip, so it's not a big deal for me. He got super pissed and said I was being selfish. That I would feel bad if he got sick or something happened because he had to drive without AC, and then said if the roles were reversed, he would totally be letting me take his car with no question. I reiterated that I could just drive him, but that he wasn't taking my car, and he mocked me saying that I wanted to keep the car perfect forever and said I cared more about the car than I cared for him. He stormed out, and part of me feels bad because it's hot AF out there right now, but part of me thinks he's being unreasonable when he had a ride with AC. Am I the arsehole? Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, considering how he completely disrespects other people's belongings, even his own. And I agree with the first comment. If that is all the care he has for other people's possessions, he would no longer be my boyfriend. It's such a lack of respect. I love how you mentioned I had to take him at his word, like it's totally normal to not trust your boyfriend. Yet casually mentioning how you have to believe it was a hit and run because your BF was the only witness is wild. OP replied, I say I had to take him at his word because the situation was suspicious. He said he was rear-ended on the highway by a huge red truck that just drove off. I had a bike rack, so it was bent in which shattered the glass on my lift gate and dented the lift gate enough that it had to be replaced. There was no paint from this red truck anywhere, and because he had backed into someone before, I felt like he might have backed into something again and then just said someone hit him. Yeah, just get rid of him. Just go, get rid of him. That was actually the 3rd story I was supposed to read, but I skipped it, so I skipped it over. So before we get back into the video, I've got an announcement. Drumroll please. My new summer collection of jewelry has just dropped. I handpicked and handmade every piece of jewelry, and might possibly be some of my favorites I've ever made. So if you're in the market for some summery themed earrings that can go with any outfit or be a nice accessory for a beach day, go to thefancycactus.com or click the first link in the description. Let's get back to the video. Let's move on to the next one. Am I the asshole for not wanting to go to Disney with my fam? I love Disney so much. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Look at this. This is zoomed out. Oh wait, I went through the comments. This is a story. I guess we have to read it because I'm involved. I'm interested now. It says, hi Morgan and the THT crew. Don't know what that means. I, 36 female, don't know how to tell my sister-in-law, 39 female, that I don't want to go to Disney with them, and I think it might be the beginning of the end for one of the most important relationships in my life. For privacy, we'll call my sister-in-law Kenzie. Ironically, when my brother first started dating her, I couldn't stand her. I was 18, she was around 21, and in my mind, she was stealing my big brother. She knows this, and we've laughed about it over the years. The funny thing is, we became incredibly close. We traveled around Europe together, we used to go out all the time, I was her maid of honor, and I even planned and threw her surprise 30th birthday party with all her closest friends. She wasn't just my brother's wife anymore, she became my sister. Years later, my husband and I moved across the country. We lived there for 8 years, built our careers, got married, and had our son. During those years, my brother constantly told us to move back because he wanted our kids to grow up together. They have 3 kids. While we were living away, my mom became very sick. I flew home to spend her final days with her before she passed away. Eventually, my husband and I decided to move back because my dad needed family nearby too, so we are living with him. That way I can look after him. I truly thought moving home would mean we'd all be closer than ever. Instead, this last year has been one of the hardest years of my life when it comes to family. Not to mention my mom was glued to my family, and ever since she left, nothing has been the same, and I do feel a lot of pressure on me for being my mom's daughter. Hell, even my aunt sent me voice notes weekly of 10 plus minutes venting because she used to vent to my mom. Anyways, let's continue. The first major crack happened during a Disney trip with both families. Keep it in mind, I told her they were not obligated to go, but my sister-in-law is a Disney mom, and she goes every chance they get, so they were happy to go with us, especially the kids. Throughout the day, there were multiple arguments about things being fair between the kids. My son had birthday gift cards from his grandma and another relative. He used his own birthday money to buy himself a toy. Kenzie felt that if one child got something, all the children should get something. Oh girl, no. I hate this. I've lived through this. Like, not with my sister, somebody else. And it pissed me off so bad. And it was grandparents that was doing it. Like, they'd be like, oh, so, you know, it was always, if I got something, you know, my cousin got something. Or, you know, they would buy 2 of the same thing to make sure everybody was happy. And like, that pissed me off because we had a lot of matching things. And I hate this where it's like, you have one. It's not like you get something, you don't get something. Like, that's an option. Or like, you can get 2 different things. Later, 2 of the kids got free sticker books on a ride while her daughters weren't there. They cried, and she was upset that someone hadn't asked enough for everyone. That one I actually understood, and I did tell my husband that we should have asked for more stickers. Yes, it was my husband who was with the 2 boys, lol. It should have been easy to ask for extras. I can see that, but like, the first one with the money thing, that was his money. Those kids don't need anything. Those kids didn't have money, and like, also, I don't know, it's just the being fair. Kids need to be taught that not everything is fair. Life is very unfair. There are multiple times in life where things will be unfair. And I feel like children should learn that, you know, I don't know. But the gift card situation felt completely different to me. It wasn't my money. It was birthday money that had been given specifically to my son. I agree with that. Later that day, my son wanted to use the rest of his birthday money to buy himself a Remy plush. My mother-in-law offered to buy matching Emile plushies for Kenzie's kids because Kenzie had already told us they each owned a Remy, and I know this for a fact since I've seen them in their house. When we gave them the Emile plushes, she became upset because she didn't think we should have spent money on her children. There were disagreements throughout the trip about restaurants, gifts, who paid for meals, and fairness between the kids. By the end of the day, I was texting my best friend saying I felt like I was living in a parallel universe because every few hours there seemed to be another conflict. A few weeks later, she invited us to my nephew's kindergarten graduation. The problem was that it was the exact same time as my son's last day of school. It was his first year ever in school. His classroom was having an end of the year celebration, and many of his classmates were changing schools. I really wanted him to experience his own last day with his friends. When I hesitated, she told me that her kids had missed a day of school to come to my son's birthday in Orlando. She thought my son could miss his last day. That's so different. Like, a random day in school, okay, for his birthday. Like, a birthday seems like more special than, like, you know, like that seems fine, you know? It's just like a random day in school. Whereas like first year graduation, that's really important. That's really special because that's only gonna happen once. And I don't know, I feel like with the vacation conflict, I don't like this sister-in-law. That really hurt because those situations don't feel comparable to me. And no, my kid did not miss his last day. My husband took my kid to school, and I, the godmother, went with my dad to his graduation. I'm confused. Okay, then the baseball camp incident. My son had already been attending the camp for about 3 weeks. After the first week of camp, I had explained everything to my brother. I told him exactly how the camp worked, then I stayed there all day working from the dugout, and that I had even bought a mobile hotspot so I could work remotely while keeping an eye on my son. I encouraged him to sign his son up too because I thought he'd love it. The day camp started for my nephew, Kenzie texted me the day before, concerned about the heat and water breaks. I admitted my answer was super dry. I told her if you're not comfortable with the heat, then don't take him. And I told her what they did, the training, the snacks, the water breaks, the lunch, that they had a splash day twice a week, basically answered my question every question she asked. Then she called me the day of while my brother and nephew were already at the field. She asked, will you look after Chase? I answered, sure. To me, that wasn't dismissive. Of course I was going to look after him. He's my godson. I've known him since the day he was born. Honestly, I've been keeping an eye on all the kids there because that's just who I am. Immediately, she raised her voice and told me I was being incredibly insensitive as a mother. She told me that when I first left my son with her, I had explained everything about his day and what he ate, and she expected the same kind of reassurance from me. I tried explaining that wasn't the same situation. That was the first time I was leaving my son at her house. This camp had already been running for weeks. My brother already knew how it worked because I'd explained it all to him beforehand. If he didn't pass that information along, that didn't seem like it was my responsibility. I also wanted to tell her about a recent time when my brother took my son somewhere. The only thing he told me was dress him nice. I had no idea where they were going. I assumed a party, but I trusted him because he was my brother. I didn't need every detail because I trusted the adult who was with my child, but I never got the chance to explain. Every time I tried to speak, she talked over me. Eventually I said, you're not letting me talk. She answered, yes, because I'm mad. At that point, I said, then let's talk when you've calmed down because you're not listening to me, and we hung up. Later, she texted me, nothing to talk about anymore, Chase is already there. What bothered me was how insensitive your response was as a mother. I support your concerns with your son. I was looking for information and support, and your response was disappointing. Oh my God, my throat hurts, please hold. Here's where I'm struggling. I fully admit my text message could have been warmer. Reading them back now, I probably would have worded them differently. But I also feel like she wasn't looking for information. She was looking for me to take responsibility for making her feel okay about sending her son to camp. I don't think that's something I could ever realistically do. Now that we're supposed to go back to Disney for my niece's birthday, I genuinely want to celebrate my niece. The problem is that Kenzie's bringing her close group of friends. Objectively, I don't think anyone is going to intentionally exclude me. But after everything that's happened this past year, I already know I'll spend the whole weekend feeling like I don't belong. And that's what hurts the most. I don't want to lose this relationship. I love my brother, I love my nieces and nephew, I love Kenzie. I've moved back after 8 years because I believed our family would finally get to do life together. Instead, I feel like every disagreement chips away a little more at a relationship that's once meant so much to me. So my question isn't really who's right or wrong. How do you set healthy boundaries with someone you genuinely love without making them feel rejected? And how do you know when emotional exhaustion starts sounding like indifference to the people you care about? And should I even go to Disney? Thank you all. Much love. Hold on. I'm struggling. That was a really long story. Somebody said she sounds utterly exhausting to deal with. No way on earth I'd go back to her. Love you, but our parenting styles are too different. Have fun. I agree with that. I feel like as time goes on, if an important relationship is put to the test in different scenarios, in different situations, you can really see who that person truly is, how they really act, what they really say. Then you can decipher, if this is a relationship that should be kept. And I literally, this is literally what has happened to me in the past, specifically friends, where it's you're really connected to this person, you really love and trust them, and it's almost like something happens and you can really see who they are. You can really see how they act. You can really, and looking back, there were little breadcrumbs of who they really were in the years, months, decades, leading up to finding out, or that light switch, almost like a mask was put on in the beginning of it, in the beginning of this, before moving back. This person had a really strong relationship with Kenzie, but something happened, in the midst of that. Something, they started growing apart. They started, I feel like the sister-in-law is the asshole here. In no way at all is this person the asshole. But it's really unfortunate when you have built this connection. You're really, you really appreciate this person, and they're just kind of turning out in some way the opposite of what you thought, It's really difficult, but give it a few years, you'll be good. Also, this is Diet Coke, so I don't really think this is helping my voice. Okay, the last one. Am I the arsehole for giving away my friend's concert ticket a week before the show? I, 25 female, was supposed to go to a concert this week with my friend, 36 female. The artist isn't going, I'm having a stroke. The artist isn't coming anywhere near where I live, so when tickets went on sale over a year ago, I specifically chose a city based on where my friend was moving because I didn't want to go alone. Before buying the tickets, I asked if she wanted to come and what her budget was. She said around $250, but that she would be willing to spend up to $1K. Split if the seats were really good because of the Ticketmaster chaos. The best tickets I could get were around $500 each, or roughly $575 after taxes and fees. They were very good seats. I paid for both tickets up front with the understanding that she would pay me back for hers. More than a year later, she still hasn't paid me anything. That honestly wasn't my biggest issue at first. She isn't a huge fan of the artist and was mostly coming because I wanted someone to go with, which I appreciated. My main priority was getting to the concert. For the past several months, though, I kept asking her to make an actual plan with me. I needed to know where to fly, how long I was staying, where we were sleeping, etc. She recently bought a house, and things were understandably hectic for her, but the trip plans kept changing. At one point, the idea was that I would fly into another city, we would spend time there, and then road trip around 8 hours to the concert city. I had saved money for the trip, but I eventually decided I didn't want to spend 8 hours of my vacation in a car after already flying across the country. We changed the plan to a closer, beachy destination that was about 3 hours from her house. Her house was then around 3 hours from the concert. I changed both my flights to accommodate this new plan, which cost me extra money. Then 1 week before the concert, she urgently asked me to call her. When we talked, she told me she had basically no money and thought we should cut the trip short. She was vague about what she actually meant, so I suggested flying directly to her city, staying at her house, hanging out there, and then going to the concert. That's when she told me there was another problem. Despite paperwork saying the house didn't have termites, she had recently woken up with bugs all over her. I really do not like bugs, and at this point I was also realizing that if we still did a week-long trip, I would probably be paying for everything. I had budgeted for the vacation, but I had expected us to split hotels, gas, activities, etc. She also still owed me for the concert ticket and had told me she barely had enough money to buy food that month, so I suggested shortening the trip to basically just the concert. Arrive around the concert, stay one night, and leave the next day. She said, okay, look, and let me know. I called the airline to see how much changing my flight would cost. After being on hold for about an hour and a half, I decided I didn't want to go through the process again, so I went ahead and changed the flight. My new plan was to fly into the concert city, go to the show, stay overnight, and fly home the next day. I sent her a screenshot of the new flight. She responded and said that it was ridiculous and called me angry. She said we had gone from spending a week together to me only being there for about 12 hours and that I didn't even ask her before changing it. She felt like I was using her because now she would be driving 3 hours to attend a concert she didn't even want to go to. She then said she felt like I had been using her throughout our friendship and maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore and that I should find someone else to go to the concert with. I didn't yell or argue. I just said, okay, then I'll find someone else to go with, and ended the call. I was devastated. I cried to my boyfriend because I thought I might miss a concert I had been looking forward to for over a year. I had made my outfit and planned so much around the show. I started asking everyone I knew if they could somehow fly to another state on less than a week's notice. I offered to eat the entire cost of the concert ticket, pay for a hotel, and cover the other expenses. I just asked that they pay for their own flight. Meanwhile, my friend kept texting me. I couldn't respond. She started accusing me of changing the trip because I suddenly couldn't be away from my boyfriend for more than a week. She said my boyfriend was the reason I kept changing things and implied that he was controlling me and making the decisions for me. For context, my boyfriend does not like her because of other issues over the past 4 years, but he had nothing to do with my decision. I changed the trip because the plans kept changing. She told me she had no money, her house was potentially had a bug problem, and I was trying to salvage the one thing that I had planned the entire trip around, the concert. I eventually asked a coworker if they wanted to go. They said yes, so I gave them the extra ticket. I still have not responded to my friend's messages. Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for giving away the ticket without one final conversation or explanation. We've been friends for about 6 years, so part of me feels like I owe her a response, but she explicitly told me to find someone else to go with. Never paid for the ticket and then continued sending me angry texts and blaming my boyfriend for decisions I made myself. Am I the asshole for taking her at her word, giving the ticket to someone else and not responding? No. Yeah, somebody said your friends didn't make her plans clear. She never paid you for the ticket after you bought it. So many things went wrong ahead of the trip. Also, time to cut your losses with this friend. Enjoy the concert with a coworker and find a new place to stay. Exactly. She had over a year to pay and plan. She didn't. She was just making excuses. Also, yeah, I noticed that somebody said termites don't come in and crawl all over you. That was a lie to keep you from coming to her house, whatever reason she didn't want you at the house. I was thinking of that. Yeah, termites don't crawl all over you. They make like little tubes. Well, what do you guys think of those stories? Comment down below what you think about them. And while you're down there commenting, click all the buttons. You know what to do. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world viewing this, and peace.